Hi guys, Sarah here, and welcome to Novel Expectations. As you can see, I'm coming to you from my car. I am very sorry about the angle and about the lighting, perhaps. It is later in the day, it's almost 7:30 at night. But I do plan on getting a better holder for my phone in the car so I can do a bit more of this car vlogging, because I really do love watching these, watching other people do it, and I decided I kind of wanted to start this as a new little feature on my channel about doing these like little car vlogs on my way to or from work, to talk to you guys about different subjects that come up, discussions and what have you. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. So anyway, for the very first one, I decided to talk about reading diversely. I always have a hard time trying to figure out exactly how to word that. Now, what I mean by that is, I've heard a lot of booktubers talking lately about this. You know, especially with the mid-year book freak out tag, or something like that, I think it was called. And people were talking about, you know, they were looking at their reading stats and what have you, and they noticed that they've only read, you know, like 10 books by male authors, and they've read, you know, 35 books by female authors, and they want that to be a bit more concise and, you know, more of an even 50-50 split. Or they want to read more books by authors from different countries and stuff like that. And it really got me thinking, because I looked at my own stats, because I am filling out the Google Doc form from that Rich, I think his name is Rich from Let's Read, created, which I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, and I absolutely love it. I've been keeping up with it, and I've been super pleased with it. But I was looking at my own stats, and it's not an even split by any stretch of the imagination. I'm pretty sure it's close to like 90% female authors to 10% male authors. And to that same extent, it's probably about 90% of authors from the United States and about 10% from other countries, including Canada and the UK. So it's not even for me. And I started thinking, I'm like, does that bother me? Is that something that I really need to be concerned about? And I decided that no, I'm not worried about it. It's not something that I consider to be a big deal. It's not boxes that I feel that I need to tick off. Let's put it that way. It's not something that I consider to be a high priority. I read what I enjoy reading, and if that just so happens that it is female authors, predominantly in the US, maybe even UK, Canada, then so be it. I read, my favorite genre, if you will, is contemporary romance. And most, I'm not saying all, but most contemporary romance is written by women. And most contemporary romance takes place in or by authors from the US. Again, occasionally Canada and possibly the UK. The UK I find is more historical romance. But anyway, that's besides the point. I got thinking about this a lot in the last few weeks, and I was watching somebody else's video, and I can't remember who it was. I wish I could at this time, but she kind of broke down about, it was actually about DNFing books, which really kind of changed my perspective about DNFing books, because it's something that I never used to do. But this one really put it into perspective for me, because this woman, she kind of, you know, broke down by her age, by the average life expectancy, and by the amount of books that she can read in a year, and ended up coming with a number of books that she has left to read in her lifetime. And it's a surprisingly small number. When I did it myself, did the math myself, I was kind of shocked, and I started thinking, well, like, you know, it's the same idea. Now, why am I going to waste my time on a book that I might not necessarily be enjoying, because I've only got X number more books that I could possibly read in my lifetime? And, you know, that really makes you think. At least it made me think. So anyway, this also goes into the reading diversely thing. I like a certain type of book, and I'm going to predominantly read that type of book. I'm not going to purposely go out and hunt out books by male authors, you know, that take place in China or whatever, to tick off that box on a sheet. That does not interest me at all. But again, that's me. If that's you, that's cool, and that's great and good for you. That's just not for me. I want to read what I want to read. Now, is that saying that I'm not going to step outside my comfort zone? No, because I will happily step outside my comfort zone. I mean, you know, case in point would be The Kite Runner that I read a few weeks ago, and I really think that the summer book bingo that I've been doing has helped me do that, because there are a few books on that I ended up picking that I may not have necessarily read, but chose to read because it does fill in a box for summer book bingo. So yes, in a way I am doing that and making sure that I pick specific books for certain topics, but this is a 3-month thing for fun, and you know, you do what you will with the topic. It's not that I'm definitely trying to read, you know, a book by an author from every country, or an even 50-50 split between men and women, or I know, you know, reading a lot more books by female authors as opposed to male authors. Whatever the case may be, I'm sure you guys have all seen these videos too. And I just want to say one thing too about it, that kind of really, it's the English major in me, I guess, that gets me when I listen to these videos. And the people say, I have to read 20 more books by male authors. No, you don't. You want to. I know, I'm nitpicking at this point. But I don't know why, but that bothers me. Now, unless it's for school. Like, if you're doing this for school, and you're taking English in school, and your English teacher's like, you have to read 25 books by male authors by the end of the year for your final exam, or whatever then yes, you have to read those books. Because, well, actually, still, you really don't even have to. If you want to pass the course, you have to. But you know, it makes it, to me, when people say that, it makes it sound like a chore. You want to be able to do, if this is what you want to do, and you want to tick off those boxes on your own personal, car accident, on your own personal, sorry, squirrel, your own personal reading checklist, then that's awesome. You know, but don't make it sound like it's a chore, because, you know, especially with this mid-year book freakout tag that I saw going around, I decided not to do it because it's just pressure. I'm reading what I want to read. You know, I have a goal of reading so many books this year, and I'm well on my way to meeting that goal, if not exceeding that goal, thank goodness. A lot of that has to do with a lot of my back to my childhood books that I'm reading, because they're a lot shorter. Kind of like reading graphic novels. And I'm also doing a number of challenges, but those are like, you know, like those are like fun. You know, it's a page count goal. It's a reading a different author's name, like that start with every letter of the alphabet. Or a book title starting with every different letter of the alphabet. I mean, the Jelly Belly Jelly Bean Challenge, that'll be like 20 years in the making if I ever finish that. The Listopia Challenge is kind of fun because the bonus is, oops, sorry about that really bright sunlight, guys. The Listopia Challenge is very cool because it's like, you know, it is in a way having you kind of get out of your comfort zone in some of the different topics. But on the other hand, some of those lists are so big, I'm guaranteed to find something on my TBR that is on one of those Listopia lists. Anyway, I'm totally veering off topic about what I originally wanted to talk about. But this is what happens on my way home from work. I'm done for the day. I'm relaxed. I'm excited about going home. I am 30 pages from finishing the Friday Night Knitting Club, and it's getting kind of sad. And there's a guy totally crossing the street. I'm right beside a hospital. It's like over here. And he's totally in like the whole gown, and he's pushing his IV. I think he just went to Tim Hortons. Good for him. Anyway. And this is what's also going to happen with these car vlogs, guys. I'm a noticer. I notice stuff. This is the city of Toronto, so, you know, I'm going to notice a lot of strange stuff, I'm sure. Anyway, I'm sorry. I hope this isn't bothering too many people. I tried to take it off, but it's, like, kind of stuck on there, so I got to cut it off, I think. But I've had it since I bought the car, so it's no longer got any smell, and now it just looks pretty. And now I'm rambling, so now I'm gonna go, guys. Anyway, please post in the comments below if you like this idea for me doing these kind of little chats in the car. And like I said, I promise I'm going to get a better holder for my camera or my phone, so this doesn't like look like such a weird and odd angle. And, you know, you're losing like half of me. Yeah, and like I said, I'm hoping this will be a new series. I hope you guys enjoy it. And also let me know in the comments below your thoughts on reading diversely, and, you know, whether it's something that you're doing or whether it's something that you choose not to do. So anyway, come talk to me down there, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take care and happy reading, everybody. Bye.